Well, it's your boy, Urban Gear Man, and we are back with another video, and we've got something for you live. So, the big jeweler, TraxNYC, is going crazy on him. He says that most people who buy jewelry are broke. All these rappers or wealthy people who are going to the jewelry store buying jewelry, they're actually broke. So let's break it down and let's go in to see what your boy Trax NYC has got to say. So let's go.
How often do people fake wealth?
All the time. What do you mean?
Like, what are the ways that you can spot real versus fake wealth? Can you immediately tell if someone's actually
Yeah,
wealthy?
absolutely.
But are there tells when someone walks in, talks to you, that you could tell this guy's full of shit?
Yeah.
And what are those tells?
I don't even listen to the words, man. I listen to the energy. It's as soon as I hear speech that's like
Nah.
Oh my God, no way.
No. First off, I have to stop it right there.
Oh my God.
Okay, yo. You cannot read someone based upon energy. That is all cap. Somebody could be very timid and shy and be a millionaire and ready to buy a piece of jewelry. You cannot assume that they're BS based off of energy. You are not a Psalms reader. This is not an anime. But let's continue.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody come in. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, I like this. And this is the. And I'm just like, just shut the up, bro. Get the out of here. You know what I'm saying? I walked into your home, man. I comment your art. Wait till you see the hallway. It's an informational exchange. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The information resonates. All right. It resonates. The vibrations go into the eardrum and into the brain. And it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
When did Trax NYC become a shaman? This is hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what you're doing. This is the book I read. This is the book, your Goosebumps collection or whatever. This is your favorite. There's a back and forth exchange that's building a relationship, that's building positivity. If I came in there and I said, yeah, I have a better one, what would you think, bro?
I'd want to see a photo of it.
Yeah, or you would want to see a photo on, or you would this and that. But still, even if I did have a better one, why wouldn't I say something positive? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Why play some stupid?
I hear what he's saying, though. I look like I'm getting at Trax, but I hear what I'm saying. I hear what he's saying, but at the same time, you can't make that judgment based upon body language. You are not a professional reader. You didn't go to school for psychology. That's all I'm saying.
Good game, So this is kind of my experience of it. As people come up to me all the time. I got a jewelry store. You know what I'm saying? There's no gate to get through. They walk inside and they say, I have this. And I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I might be judging people incorrectly.
Exactly. And I guarantee you 100% of the time, you're probably wrong. Don't judge people based upon looks.
They might say, I have this idea or this, or I want that, or I want this. And I'm just listening to them like, yeah, go speak to over here. But if it resonates and someone is saying something that inside my mind isn't annoying me, then I'm starting paying attention. And, some people lift you up and inspire you, and some people put you down. And I'm sensitive to the feeling. I'm not even focusing on the words. I'm sensitive to the feeling. That's what it is to me.
What about clothing and flexing and watches and stuff like that? Because I've heard that if you eclipse like a real crazy level of wealth, you start wearing like kind of dragged old clothing, like like Adam Sandler.
That is true. Like, as I got older and I started getting more money, I've noticed that I don't want to show my wealth. Yes, I'm wearing designer right now, but as you get older, you don't want that kind of attention. If I have $3 million in the bank, it's better to not make people know that you have it. You dress regular and you try to blend in while you stack your wealth in the stock market. The people who show off, they're most likely rappers. They're young, they're single, they're doing it to show off for women.
and a lot of
Yeah.
like Shia
You stop
LaBeouf.
having to
Yeah.
prove
Yeah.
anything.
Well, you
Yeah.
don't have to prove anything when you've been in a million movies.
Okay, sure. Well, what about other people? Do you notice like a correlation at all with like the actual physical appearance
Yeah,
of like very wealthy people versus not?
Well, not often. This one guy that I know, he's got a collection of Ferraris, and but he likes to dress with the nice shit, and he's wearing Richard Meals, and he's doing his thing. Change. You know what I'm saying?
Too much.
Right.
And the real people walked in, I noticed,
Right.
really understated.
Yeah.
Would never want to talk to you.
Right.
When you ask their information, they'd say, oh, you know, I'll sign it.
Yeah.
And that's it. They really
Right.
just didn't want to be bothered.
Correct.
But they'd more walk in and out with a bit of confidence to
Yeah.
them. And I also noticed that sometimes the poorest dressed people
Right.
were the richest.
Right.
The dude who's walking in with
Yeah.
flip-flops, kind of a dirty white t-shirt and sweatpants,
Yeah.
he's the one with like $200 million.
Correct.
I think that is based upon your age and maturity. Like when you're young and you're 20 years old, you want to dress flashy. You want to be nice. You want to get all the women, right? But once you get older and you look a certain way, you got the women already. You don't have to do that, and you got the confidence.
It's in some cases, but you know, he's flashing money in other places. You know, he's going over there. Everybody got a plan. That person that was muttering nonsense when they walked through there, they thought they're going to wake up and they're going to come up and they're going to tell a story about how they're this and how they're that. And you see that, you know, and it doesn't resonate. You're an open house, you get to the point, it is what it is. You don't know me, I don't know you. I might have $1 million or $1 trillion or what have you. I don't know. You know, but this is the house, you're buying it or you're not. It makes sense. The shit that makes sense. That doesn't. And people but you know, professional scam artists, after some people like, oh, I'm embarrassed, I got caught being a fraud, and they leave.
Mhm.
Some people like, oh, I know why I got caught. Let me adjust my strategy. I'm going to come in there on some shit. I know that he's thinking that in his head, that I'll come in there with the flip-flops and and I'll even have my friend come up to you and say, you dropped this and it's some expensive whatever. A scam. They'll fool you. There's lots of crazy scams out there, man. There's lots of people that if they invest their energy into fraud.
Yo, honestly, that is true. In the jewelry industry, I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's a lot of scamming. There's a lot of jack boys. There's a lot of robbers. Once you deal with jewelry, it's as dangerous as dealing in the drug game. Riddle me that.
Fraud, they will go past these filters that you're noting.
Yeah. It's interesting too. People would even tie up properties in escrow. I've noticed they would claim they sent a wire transfer, but then one of the digits was like mixed by mistake.
Right.
And it's like, oh, well, I sent this deposit for the down payment on the house. We already have a signed deal.
Yeah.
Now I got to wait to get that back. And then a week goes by. I'm still waiting to get it back. They send it again. Something went wrong.
And
Oh,
what's the advantage of doing all this
I've
bullshit?
never figured it out.
Right.
I think it's the feeling of importance.
Right.
Or they think maybe I'm going to hustle this deal over here and like get the money for it, or maybe I could have a friend come.
There's
I
gotta
don't
be
know.
Make
an
the
angle.
seller more distressed.
But
or
it's
something,
happened
and-
multiple times.
There's a reason
and I
for
don't
it.
know. Different people. There's never been a scam. It's
Right.
mostly the people I think want.
The reason for that is like they want to stall out the deal in hopes that you'd either give them a lower price because you see that, oh, they're going through a bunch of stuff with wire transfers and you're itching to get the product off to the customer. Hey, don't worry about it. I see you're going through a bunch of trouble. I'll sell it to you for $100 less. That is one tactic that scammers will do, what I see.
Attention.
Right. They want attention. Yeah. I mean, in Beverly Hills and LA, they want to be a part of that life and a part of that top, but they're not.
What about different levels of wealth and how they purchase items from you? For example, if you have someone maybe worth like 200 million, are they buying crazy iced out watches versus someone that's maybe worth like 5 million? Are they buying different sorts of jewelry?
Yeah.
Is there like a difference in terms of jewelry preferences that you notice?
Yeah. I mean, listen, of course there's a difference in preference.
There is a difference. What I noticed is the billionaires, they'll buy a watch that is more low key. They'll buy maybe a Rolex that's not bust down. But the people who are a little bit lower, the millionaires, they're most likely entertainers, athletes. They're a little bit more flashy and want to show the diamonds. That's what I've kind of seen. Well, let's see what they're saying.
But for you, you know, you're distinctly asking, a person with a couple of million, what their taste is versus a person with vast amounts of money?
Yeah, like for example, vast amounts of money. Maybe they're doing something because they're actually passionate, rather
Yeah.
than like getting a crazy iced out.
Yeah, there's not much of a passion. You know what I'm saying? You got more money. You want to show it off. You want, you want to be at the casino and you want to do this and you want to do that. It's mostly for women, okay, and signaling wealth or whatever.
Facts, signaling wealth. We do it for the women. If guys could get women without wearing jewelry and living in a cardboard box, we would do it. The only reason why a lot of guys wear designer clothing and iced out jewelry is to get attention from women. That is fact.
And it's also for a good look or whatever it might be. But that depends on the individual. But they're looking for the status. So whether they have the 1 million or 2, if it's their first watch, they might get an iced out this or a big bezel that. But if they've been buying for a long time, they're gonna get that rare piece that says, "I know what the I'm doing."
That is so true. Shout out to TraxNYC for that. Your first watch that you buy when you got money, most likely it is a bust down, iced out watch. But after you get that bust down, iced out watch, you notice that, wait a second, I need something that's not too flashy. So your second or third watch is probably going to be a plain Jane or something that's not bust down. He's absolutely right on this, guys.
Tech Philippe, whatever, with the moon phase.
How often do people come to you and not able to afford the jewelry, or they're on a payment plan and they just charge you to a credit card and they can't afford this thing?
Yeah, the average person, it happens enough. It's not that they can't afford it. They're buying something for $1,500 or $2,500. So how can they not afford it? They have a steady job and can make a payment. Relatively, they can afford it. And what they're buying, they're buying. If they're buying the right piece of jewelry, they're doing the right thing. If you bought a piece of jewelry that was heavy in gold in the year 2004 when I started, even if you paid overprice, the gold price was $350 an ounce, and now it's $3,500 more or less. So you 10x your money.
Facts. If you bought a gold chain 20 years ago, even if you overpaid, you are winning right now. So when it comes to jewelry, I definitely think if you buy a gold chain, you're not wasting your money. It definitely is an investment.
And if you overpay double, you 5x it or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can't lose on that. So some people are buying, getting played, man. Some people are not. Some people are over, what the question and the nature of the question. Of course, some people are overcommitting themselves on they can't do. Some people are on drugs they can't quit. Some people are buying to look like this. Some people are buying to look like that. And there is some millionaires that scrounge every dollar, or millionaires or whatever, full tilt.
Do you think it was happier back then or happier now?
I don't know.
All right, guys. With that being said, go check out that interview with TraxNYC. It definitely is pretty dope. And guys, if you are in the building, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It definitely helps the channel if you're new in the building. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out the boy Tiz Faze. He says, God is money. Done no. Respect to you. One thing I want to say, guys, is a lot of people are faking it. A lot of people that you see with a bust down watch, with a nice car, they're broke. When you go to a jewelry store, people are financing their jewelry for like 72 months, like a car payment. So you might see that guy with that bust down watch, but let me tell you, he's struggling to pay rent just because he wanted a bust down Patek Philippe or that chain that he has. So do not be fooled by people who look like they're doing good, because a lot of the times it's all a front, keeping up with the Joneses. I've noticed with Gen Z and the new kids growing up, they do it backwards. You're supposed to invest your money in the stock market, buy the house first. But what they're doing, they're showing off for social media, showing off the clothes and the jewelry first without building the house. When they reach 50 years old, they're not going to be able to retire. That's what's wrong with Gen Z and these Instagram people. They're spending all their money on material things. When they turned 60 years old, they weren't investing in the stock market. They weren't investing in VU. They weren't doing what they're supposed to do. They're just doing it for social media. And when they turn 65 years old and want to retire, they're going to be dead broke on the streets. And nobody likes old people. Like, old people ignore them. They don't really give them the respect. So if you're broke when you're old, you got to hang it up. That's just my words of encouragement right there. Stack your money. Hit the like button and check out my jewelry store, the getflystore.com, and use my discount code Urban Gearman at Get Lux Jewelry. It gets you 15% off all your jewelry purchases. I'm signing out, y'all. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Peace. Now I mean, we here. Oh crap.